One thing that is on my bucket list I gotta get off is going to the Super Bowl. So this year, y'all, we going to the Super Bowl. Let me look up the tickets. Okay, so it's only... I know this must be like filled seats. How many tickets? It's just me and one. Oh, that was for 2 tickets.
I just want to ask y'all in the comment section real quick. How much do you think people pay to go to the Super Bowl? How much do you think people pay to go to the Super Bowl?
I'm going to pick something else on my bucket list to go to. $21,000?
$21,000. For 2 seats or 1 seat?
The $6,000 tickets? Or the nosebleeds? I love my living room. I think I just want to be in my living room instead. Like, I don't know, like being in the comfort of your own home just...
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. I probably won't even watch the Super Bowl this year. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, with family, just a little bit. I really don't care until it's the fourth quarter because the fourth quarter matters the most. But I think it's completely insane how people have the audacity to complain about finances. Not specifically talking about her. I'm talking about people in general. All year you hear politics and this politician and how the price of eggs are going up and how much they deserve a raise. But you know, maybe these are the same people who are not only just going to the Super Bowl, but because I heard people save up a lot of money and they wait till their team gets in the Super Bowl and that's when they spend it. But I also know people are spending on credit cards. But hear me out. Even if you're watching it in your living room, and it's not wrong to be entertained, I just believe being obsessed over a game of 2 grown men or multiple grown men fighting over an inflated piece of inflated leather pigskin is insane when you are not where you want to be financially. And this is not me coming off and being like, hey, nobody should relax or enjoy themselves. Yo, I play the PS5. I don't watch sports. I play the PS5 and Battlefield 6. But you know what? I can count on a single hand how many times I play that thing on a month-to-month basis. Usually it's when I'm like, you know what? I've done a great job. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not just talking about just working at a 9 to 5. I'm also talking about doing not the 9 to 5 work, but the 5 to 9 work. All right. That's just me. I set a real high standard for myself when it comes down to getting tasks done. And I don't believe that those that complain about the economy have the time to watch a damn game.
Prices for the Super Bowl this year are absolutely atrocious. Now I'm actually curious, what do you do for a living to be able to afford a $23,000 ticket? Let a girl know. Just sit in the nosebleeds. It is going to cost you $6,000. $6,000. I've been in the Super Bowl. You will not be able to see the game from all the way up there. I mean, you might as well pay $6,000 and wear a blindfold. Most expensive one I found, $30,000. Some people pay that a year in rent. $30,000. Wouldn't it be cool if the Super Bowl was actually an affordable event where diehard fans could go? I know that's not a reality, but that would be so awesome. I'm truly curious though, who's affording these tickets?
Yo, so I just want to address the comment right here that my man L Cool J had said. He said, dang, I thought it was rent money they'd pay, not $20,000. That's crazy. It is crazy, man. Me and my dad went to a NFL game about a year ago. We watched the Eagles and the Commanders play, and it was pretty sweet. He initially thought, the only reason I went first is because my older brother couldn't go because he had a family emergency, and so somebody had to fill in for his ticket because it was the day of the game. And so I ended up filling in for his ticket. It was my first experience. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was cold as hell, but it was awesome. And my dad thought that he got the seats that they always get. And I'm like, wow, we see it right up front. I'm not even obsessed with football. I don't know a thing about football or a football player, right? I know how the game worked, but anyways, I felt like I was immersed in the game, being right there. It was a cool experience. I was like, Dad, how much these tickets usually cost? Yo, he was like, they're like $2,000, $3,000. Mind you, this was around the time where I told you all where I had to move back in because I wasn't responsible for my finances. So I'm sitting here like, dang, how are people affording this? I know mortgages. We watch videos where people say their mortgage is $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. My man L Cool J said right here that he thought it would have been a rent payment. Yo, that wasn't even the Super Bowl we went to, obviously. It was a game between the Eagles and the Commanders, and the Eagles ended up losing in the last quarter. And that taught me that lesson of like, it don't even matter until the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? They were ahead the whole time. Anyways, just imagine the Super Bowl. You can see the seats right here. Amazing deal, 7,000. We were like up here, right? In 200s. We were about right here. And my dad, no, he didn't pay this price, all right? Because it wasn't the Super Bowl. But we were right here where it says $7,000, right? And those seats were less than $2,000. But now it's the Super Bowl. I think the $2,000 seats were like in the 100 section, right? But the Super Bowl hijacks the price up. This is why I say people get ripped off. And I'm like, man, they be making so much money. I need to own an NFL team.
This is how much it would cost two people to attend Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium, February 8, 2026. I'll make sure to include ticket prices, hotel, parking, food, drinks, and give you two options, a bad and bougie option and a more affordable one. Kicking it off with the tickets, if you want to sit up close and you're balling like that, then your price tag is only gonna be $52,030.
Let that sink in real quick. Let that marinate real quick. $52,000. That's $1,000 a week. But basically, it's $1,000 a week. I'm not saying people don't have money like that to pay it off cash. There's definitely people who do. I'm saying most people don't. And sure, you can be in your living room watching it, but I'm just like, I can't settle and then think that, man, there's so much more in life than to pay $52,000 for a game or to pay attention to a game when I'm not in the financial position that I want to be in yet. That's just my belief. Maybe it's just me though.
And 25 cents. And if you're looking for something a little bit more on the affordable side, sitting on section 419, you're looking at about $14,778.67. So in other words, a brand new Rolex Submariner. Moving along to the hotel, for something bougie but also somewhat affordable, the Nest Hotel Palo Alto will cost you $553 for that night. For food, drinks, and merch at the stadium, I would budget $400 to be safe.
Why is it $400 to eat at a Super? You know you're not about to eat healthy. I'm good. Here's another thing that that I believe in. Drinking alcohol, unless it's like very special occasions. Like I'm good. There are so many times where I've been at the bar and hey, I told y'all this is the Profit First show, man. I was raised to be a entrepreneur. So when I see things like this working out, I'm like, that business is making so much money. One of the reasons why I know what happens in the culinary arts business industry is because my dad is a chef and he owns a food truck company. He's owned restaurants before. And the thing is, we've had conversations and he's told me that alcohol is one of the most profitable things, if not the most profitable thing in a restaurant. And so when I see people at the bar buying drinks and stuff, I'm like, man, they bought a shot for $8? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you go to the ABC store, you get a bottle, you know how much that bottle is. But when you go to the bar, why is it so inflated? It's just, sure, you can argue that it improves your experience and, you just want to relax and have a great time. But this is the trap that I'm talking about, the financial trap of being ripped off, the financial trap of being distracted. I'd say the bigger expense is being distracted from your own situation. A lot of the times, men in general watch football to have an experience and be competitive. I say, let's bring that into your own life. Them dudes on the field are getting paid. Are you? And I'm not talking about no sports betting because we're not even about to get into that. That's for a whole nother topic. But I'd rather bring that competitive energy to improving my life, not shouting for another team for some player who doesn't even know my name and is getting paid, and I gotta go home and gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm good on all that, man. I'm good. I don't want to live my life like that.
Stadium parking is usually around $50 to $100, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's marked up, so budget $200. Take yourself somewhere nice after the game to eat, budget $200. So if you want to be bad and bougie, your grand total is $53,383.25. And
Yeah, I don't.
if you want to go the more affordable route, your grand total is $16,131.67.
Somebody can go to college for that price. At least for what? Maybe a semester? I digress. Subscribe if you like the content. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, man. Let's get it.